backed or not. Oh, sorry, I didn't put that up. Non-corporate backed or not, eventually they will all kiss the ring of Nancy Pelosi if they run as a Democrat. And that's the point that I'm making. Whether you don't want to describe it as kiss the ring, if you're not loudly shouting on a weekly basis on the steps of the Capitol about the Democratic Party and the leadership and what's going on and their complicity in everything, what are we doing? I mean, can you even do that? Are there some sort of parliamentary rules that doesn't allow you to do that, or you get some sort of punishment? I would be getting that punishment. I'm just telling you now. I say thank God for revolutionary black. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to do this the other way. I say thank God for Revolutionary Blackout Network calling out this bullshit. AOC wants Palestinian humanity centered while funding the bombs that Israel drops on Gaza. Exactly. This is the point that I'm making. Thank you for clarifying or giving an instance of what one of the points that I'm making. Are the Democrats not doing terrible things here? And we're voting to add more numbers to that team. How does that make sense? How does that advance what we want to do? I'm not necessarily, because there was a conversation that Brianna Joy Gray had with Nick, and I think Afeni was in that conversation where she got, Nick to not concede, because it wasn't like he did necessarily, but to admit that there are some things that can be gained through electoralism, and maybe it's not, but what the conversation led to was maybe we're for the inside game, but not the inside game. This inside game is what we're not for. I'm for a more militant inside game where you're literally going out saying, I'm only running as a Democrat because I want to get in there and fuck shit up for them. Sort of like I don't mean softly saying that. I mean explicitly saying that. That type of strategy. Where you're saying, we have 100 candidates over 50 states all running, and all of us doing commercial ads, all of us getting together saying, we're all trying to get in there and be a voting bloc to wreck shit for the Democrats, and the Republicans. Explicitly saying that. I'm for that inside game. That's the inside game I'm for. Not this subliminal messaging, and because you're just gonna go in there and get along anyway. Not this subliminal messaging. I'm for saying the words Nancy Pelosi is corrupt, and that's why I'm going to run as a Democrat to get her out of there. Saying that. I'm for that inside game. Totally for it. Put that on there. AOC is not progressive at all, but she talks a good game. And I'm going to play. Where did I see that? No, I'm not going to play that. I don't want any copyrights on this one. I don't think AOC listens to Richard Wolff. I don't think so either. Right. AOC is a highly paid tweeter. I think I said it right. AOC has done nothing. She is highly paid tweeter. That's it. I believe that is. What is this? Somebody wrote a one-word article for New Yorker. The answer is obvious. I'm not sure what that means. But anyway, let's get back to the article. That's a good segue back to the article here, because I'm going to scroll down to a couple of other questions here. Because she didn't really answer the question about Nancy Pelosi. They follow up. Here's the next question. Is it healthy or not for the Democratic Party for Nancy Pelosi to remain in place as the speaker, as a leader of the Democratic caucus in the House? As leader of the Democratic caucus in the House? That's the question, a pretty direct question. One person, specific question. It's really all about a specific moment that we're in. What the fuck does that mean? Is she terrible or not? Her. The system is terrible. We're not asking about the system. The moment is terrible. We're not asking about the moment. Is Nancy Pelosi terrible or not? Now, the Nancy Pelosi that was running, if you've seen, I can't remember if it was Kyle Kalinske or the Humanist Report. Maybe it was Jimmy Dore he interviewed, or no, it wasn't Jimmy. It was Glenn Greenwald's interview I saw about her answering the question about Nancy Pelosi. That person said that. This is the person now. It's really all about a specific moment that we're in. We are in such a delicate moment of the day-to-day, particularly with the threats to our democracy. What the fuck? The threats. So she's now selling Trump propaganda. She's the most leftist person in Congress. She's selling Trump propaganda. She can't mouth the words to say anything critical of her mama bear. I believe that at the end of the day, there's going to be a generational change in our leadership. So she's basically saying Nancy Pelosi is eventually going to die because all humans die. So we're going to get new leadership eventually. How does AOC still have stands? I don't understand that. That is just a simple fact. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi will eventually die. Yes. All of us will. Yes. Mm-hmm. Now, when that particular moment happens, I think it's a largest question of condition and circumstance. This was all bullshit. Word salad, non-answering. So they follow up again. You don't want to go near this one. It's a tough question. It's not tough. Is calling out Nancy tough? The people who would vote for these non-corporate Democrats, is calling out Nancy Pelosi tough for you? Is that tough? The most leftist person in Congress that we all elected or helped or campaigned or boosted is saying that. It's tough. It's a tough question. Oh, man. This is what we're going back to. This is all we have to look forward to as leftists. This. As long as you're within the Democratic Party, this is the height. Do you understand that? The squad and AOC is the height of what we're going to get being with the Democratic Party. Think about that. What hope do we have of getting Medicare for all, single payer, national health care system, if this is our best hope? But we want more of them. Please support these people, and they're not going to do that. we have to stand strong. The only way to defeat the duopoly is not to vote for it. There is no other way. There is no way of participating in the duopoly at the same time wanting to kill it in this manner. And let me explain by what I say in this manner. Because if your strategy is 70% direct action and 30% electoralism through third parties, that is key. I'm with you. Through the duopoly, I'm not with you. Through the duopoly, I'm not with you. Turn this here off. What's up, sweetheart? All right. My girls are going for a walk, so yeah. I think that's all with this article right here. So let's bring. I mean, but check out the article. You can read it in full. That's not the only ridiculous shit. I mean, thing she says. In the article. So check it out for yourself if you have the time. Check it out. Now, I think I am able. I guess I can just bring up YouTube and watch the stream. So I think I'm going to stream. But there's more I want to cover here. There's more before their stream starts. So let's go through the process of donating. Right? Your hard-earned money. You work at a lousy fucking job, getting underpaid, wage theft. Inflation is ridiculous. Capitalists are getting off with like bandits. So the money you make is very valuable. More valuable than what America says it's worth. Let's donate some of that hard-earned money to these people who are ramping up escalation at the Russia-Ukraine border over bullshit because Joe Biden's numbers are terrible. Let's add to that team. Let's send money to that team. Why don't you go find an unhoused person and use that money more directly to affect better change? Why don't you donate to Affinny's mutual aid? Why don't you donate to Tour for the Poor? Tour for the Poor in LA. We're hitting 3 housing projects. 3. Democrats have not co-opted any of the mutual aid I've just named. The money is actually going to help people directly. Giving to Democrats is helping to elect a non-corporate Democrat, but it's still a Democrat. We have to stop funneling people to the Democratic Party. That is just something we have got to stop doing. So next, let me check the before I do that, let me go over another thing here, because this is another thing. Because we have enough progressives in the House now to literally any bill that comes to the floor, they can determine whether it goes through or not. They can. Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema do it. Just think about that. Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema do it, but progressives cannot. How is it the Democrats allow corporatism to rock the boat, but not progressivism? So, a couple questions here I have written down. How many progressives do we need to have in power in order to get some action? 20, 30, 40? How many would you say where we have enough to where we have enough to where who enough of a bigger group to where a small group of them will hold Nancy Pelosi or whatever leadership's feet to the fire and determine what legislation is passed? How many would you say? If we get 40, we might get 15 out of the 40 that would be down to do that in strong districts. Then the question becomes, how many years is it going to take to elect that amount of progressives? So let's say 7 are elected this time, 8, 9, 10 are elected, 10, 22. Is that enough? I wouldn't say so. So what? We're waiting another 2 years, 4 years, another election, get another 7, another 2, 4 years. So we're talking what? 6 to 12 years. In that 6 to 12 years, how many people go unhoused? How many people are brutalized by the police department? How many Palestinian lives are lost? Do we have this time? What is the condition of the planet? What is the condition of the planet? I think I'm just bringing up basic items here. I don't think I'm bringing up anything like intellectually like, oh, that's a great thing. No, I think anybody who sits back and analyze and take any propaganda from your mind, this is your assessment of the situation. So, I mean, just be honest with yourselves. Do you think electing more progressive non-corporate Democrats is going to do anything? Or are they just going to say we need to get more in? Why? So they can be converted? We're losing them. Jamal Bowman is gone, bro. Like 2 weeks after being elected, he's gone. Jamal Bowman is gone. Okay? He's not, no. So not only we have to elect them, but we have to keep them left. How is that going? Forced to vote, perfect example. Leftists trying to force leftists to participate. How did that go? They're not even listening to the people who voted for them. Jamal Bowman, it was the quickest turn I ever seen in my life. I've never seen somebody turn as quick as Jamal Bowman. Almost like he was flipped before and he just pretend. That's the only explanation I can come up with. To have that quick of a switch, that was just a switch for us, not for him. There we go. Yes, he's gone. We've lost him. We've lost him. We need to have in the same way, in the same vein that the Dave Chappelle show had the race what was it, the race draft. We need to have a leftist draft. We're gonna be trading some people. We need to cut some contracts here, cut some people here. That's what we need to do. We need to do a leftist draft. That's their whole thing, is we have to believe. We have to believe that these new progressives, and some of them are great people. I know some of them. They're not bad people. And if they were joining, and if they were running as a Green Party, as a socialist, as a communist, this channel would be wholeheartedly pushing them. We're even doing a third party summit, or I'm doing a third party summit. I'm part of our event, but it's my event. So I'm doing a third party summit. They would be on that at the summit, trying to raise money, trying to strategize to get people elected. I can't do that for the Democrats. I can't be complicit anymore. Because it doesn't matter how nice and great the person we elect, the non-corporate person, the Democrats are still killing my people. They're still funding and wanting to increase the funding of the racist police state.